Hello and welcome to the daily cricket show, Cricket Happenings with your host Ram. Well, on this daily cricket show, it's going to be the second day's play in the match between Australia and Bangladesh, where the Australians did very well. I thought first they bowled out the Bangladeshis for a total of a total of 305 all out. So it was quick work today by the Aussie bowlers, and Nathan Lyon in particular, who had figures of 7 wickets for 94 runs. And Australia, in reply at close of play, had given a firm reply as they were 225 for 2 going towards close of play, with David Warner on 88 not out. A very sedate 88 at that. Very unusual thing to happen with David Warner, and Hanscom was not out on 69. So that is as far. So this is the match which I will be talking about. I will be talking about second day's play, and also tomorrow I will be previewing the last ditch effort for the Sri Lankans. This is the last match of the Sri Lankan tour, and so far Sri Lanka have not salvaged anything from this tour. They lost the test matches, they lost the one-day internationals, and now it is a solitary T20, and it is a must-win for Sri Lanka tomorrow, if at all they want to save some face here, or else India would have ended the tour with victories and only victories. So that is going to be, what little pride there's, whatever pride remains. This is in this particular T20 match, and one is looking forward to that. Well, we all know who are the favourites, but whether Lanka can actually spring a surprise tomorrow, because they are still hunting for their first ever victory on this Indian tour of Sri Lanka. Such has been the ascendance of the Indians. So I'll be previewing that match, and we'll also have a look at some cricket scores, and also I would take you live to the cricket ground where the first qualifier of the CPL 2017 is being played right now. Evan Lewis, who actually smashed 97 not out of 32 balls, is already a goner. So he's already out. And right now, when I talk to you, the Patriots, who actually are playing against the Trinbago Knight Riders in the first qualifier, they are 61 for 2 currently. I will come back to that. I will probably give you some live cricket updates, time permitting. Right now, as I see, the St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots are 61 for 2 currently. But I think there is some good news for them. Even Lewis was out, but Chris Gale is there. He's 18. King is also looking good. He is not out on 13. We will come back to that later with this live cricket update. Other than that, dear fans, friends, subscribers, there is not much to really talk about. But as I said, I will be looking into that, no doubt. But first, I'm going to start off with the second day's play in the match between Bangladesh and Australia. So let's get on to the match between Bangladesh and Australia. So Bangladesh actually resumed on their overnight score yesterday of 252 for 6, I reckon, and they had Mushfiqur Rahim on 68, but today it was very quickly done. In fact, Mushfiqur Rahim was not allowed to add to his tally of 68, as he was bowled by Nathan Lyon for 68 with 5 boundaries. Nasir Hussain contributed 45 with 5 boundaries, becoming a victim of the bowling of Ashton Agar. Mehdi Hassan Miraz was run out for 11. Taijul Islam was a victim of Lyon as well. So Lyon was the one who picked up all the wickets there. Mustafiz Rahman was not out on not. And that was the end of the Bangladesh innings. So it was a quick work done by the Aussie bowlers, especially Nathan Lyon, in the first session. So Nathan Lyon's 36.2 over 7 minutes, 94 runs and 7 wickets. A splendid bowling performance, I thought, by Nathan Lyon, especially considering that he took 5 wickets on the first day itself. So now let's have a look at the Australian reply. The Australian reply was not good, and as I said, the spin has been something which has been their forte, no doubt about it. And today we saw Mustafizur Rahman, the left-arm pace bowler, was given a long bowl. He was given 10 overs today, 1 for 45, and he was the one who provided the breakthrough when he forced Matt Renshaw to actually try to glance a delivery. And what a catch from Mushfiqur Rahim, diving full length, very good anticipation, and springing up and bringing this catch inches off the ground. So it was very well done by Mushfiqur Rahim, the wicketkeeper. So it was not a good start at all for the Aussies, with Matt Renshaw gone for 4 with 1 boundary. Now David Warner was joined in by Stephen Smith, and David Warner and Stephen Smith, and we saw a different David Warner today. As you know, in the previous match we saw how David Warner took the attack to the Bangladeshi bowlers, but today it was in sharp contrast to that. It was more of a waiting game, and this was something which was very interesting. David Warner was not taking any risks. He was respecting the spinners. The bowlers were respected, and he was really trying to play ball on the merit, and the spinners were also bowling a very good line to David Warner. But Stephen Smith was the one who was really sparking off very well. He was doing a fine job as both David Warner and Smith repaired the damage that was done with the opening wicket of Matt Renshaw, as they put on a good partnership for the second wicket, which yielded 93 runs, and Stephen Smith was the one who was in real command, I would say. But David Warner, as I said, had put up the shutters. I mean, he was just batting in a very, very sedate manner, and as you know, David Warner batting in a sedate manner is something a big rarity in any form of the game, and David Warner was absolutely doing that today. So David Warner and Stephen Smith went about their task in a very workmanlike manner, especially David Warner. But Stephen Smith, yes, he was definitely playing well. He contributed 58, and when things were going well and the score had reached 98, the wicket of Stephen Smith fell. Stephen Smith had done all the contribution. Now this was a good ball from Taijul Islam, where he actually fought Stephen Smith with an arm ball that went in straight, and Stephen Smith missed it, and he was clean bowled for 58 with 8 boundaries. After that, from 98 for 2, definitely Bangladesh would have been very happy with taking Stephen Smith's wicket. But Peter Handscomb, who came in, and there was a very, let me tell you, it was a very hot and humid day. Peter Handscomb had to really survive here. David Warner was really playing a very good waiting innings. It was very nice under the circumstances. But Handscomb, as you know, is normally a very defensive player, and he also played his part very well, braving the heat and humidity. He went on to an unbeaten 69. I thought they played the spin very well, and today the spinner Shakib Al Hasan and the Mehdi Hasan Miraz could not have any effect on the Aussie batsmen. In fact, the batting was such that Stephen Smith had definitely done his homework, one thought, after Mehdi Hasan Miraz troubled him by coming round the wicket, trying to use what Ravichandran Ashwin was doing against India successfully. Ravichandran Ashwin was doing against Stephen Smith successfully, but today it was different. In fact, Stephen Smith, with his very adept batting, what he did is he forced Mehdi Hasan Miraz to come and bowl to him over the wicket, and so that was it. And so when stumps were drawn for the day, the Aussies had put up a very good show. They were 225 for 2. David Warner, a very unusual unbeaten 88 with 4 boundaries. He has faced 170 balls, so that itself says it was a different side of Warner that one got to see. And Handscomb, braving the heat and humidity here at the Zahoor Ahmed Chaudhry Stadium in Chittagong, was not around 69 with 5 boundaries, as Australia closed at 225 for 2, another 80 runs behind. So definitely calling the shots here, Australia, I would say, in this particular match so far. Mehdi Hasan Miraz, 20 overs, 2 minutes run for 53, was the one who actually started the bowling for the Bangladeshis. Mustafizur Rahman, 10 overs, 1 for 45. It was refreshing to see Mustafizur Rahman. He was the one who provided the breakthrough. Shakib Al Hasan could not get a good line today. 15 overs, 52. Tajul Islam, 15 overs, 1 minute, 50 runs and 1 wicket. The other 3 bowlers that were used were part-timers. Nasir Hussain, 1 over for 4. Mominul Haq, 2 overs for 6. And Sabir Rahman, 1 over for 9. So that is the match situation. Australia are definitely calling the shots here. But they would be hoping that they could really pile on this innings. Probably they have to eye on something, because this pitch, to me, there is some slow turn available. So I'm sure Australians are the ones who are going to be batting last on this pitch. So I reckon a score of 400 would really come in very handy, probably in excess of 400, or else it could be a bit tough. So 400 would make it very safe for them with that handy lead, and then they can try to bowl Bangladesh out. So Aussies know that they are the ones who would be batting last on this wicket, and that is a very dicey thing to happen, according to me. Well, dear fan subscribers, now I shift from the from Chittagong, and we go to the preview of the final T20 which is coming up. As I said, all that Sri Lanka can do in this solitary T20 which is coming up tomorrow is to save some face. And let's have a look at Sri Lanka. Looking at the batting the team composition, Sri Lanka, Niroshan Dikwala will open the innings. Upul Taranga, as you know, is out of test matches, but he'll still captain the team in the T20s as well. So Upul Taranga and Niroshan Dikwala, I think, form a very good opening pair. And then they have one drop, Dilshan Munawira, who can really put bat to ball when the time comes. And he believes in going for the strokes, Dilshan Munawira. So he's an exciting cricket player. And then they have the experience of Angelo Matthews. Now Ashan Priyanjan is also there. So Ashan Priyanjan is almost like making a comeback. It's quite a long time since one saw Ashan Priyanjan in the team. So Milinda Srivardhana or Ashan Priyanjan. Dasun Shanaka has been selected. Sekugya Prasanna, as you know, what a punch he packs with his strokes, and I would probably plump for Sekugya Prasanna based on his current form. One would probably go for Sekugya Prasanna. Tisra Pereira, another very good all-rounder. Akila Dhananjaya, who knows the Indian batting very well, and Jeffrey Vandersay, the right-arm leggy, coming into the squad. And the pace would be in the hands of Lasith Malinga and Vikum Sanjaya. Let me tell you, on his first tour of Australia, he did a wonderful job. One was very impressed because he can really, ramp up the pace as well, and he's a very good handy bowler to have, Vikum Sanjaya. So that's so India would have the first look at Vikum Sanjaya, I reckon. So that is as far as the Sri Lankan team is concerned. The solitary T20 which is coming up, which will also bring an end to this Indian tour of Sri Lanka. So India would be hoping to get a win under the belt, in the sense they would like to finish off on a high before leaving for India, and Sri Lanka would like to save some face by winning this T20. So it's a nice battle on the cards, one could say, at Katarama. Virat Kohli, well, he's in some great form. I mean, today he was placed number 1 or 2 in the ICC rankings, and the maximum points that any Indian cricket player has got in ICC, as far as ICC ranking, is 887, which was done by Sachin Tendulkar in 1998, and Virat Kohli has equalled it. I mean, look at that man, so many records he's been breaking. Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma, KL Rahul once again would be loving Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma in some great form with centuries in the ODI series, but KL Rahul is the one who has to really get going now, because he failed in the ODI series after being given the one-drop position. So it's high time that KL Rahul hits his straps pretty quickly. Manish Pandey, whatever limited opportunity he has been getting, he has been showing how consistent he can be. And Dhoni, one all knows, no introduction is required for Mahendra Singh Dhoni. Kedar Jadhav has also been doing a very good bits and pieces job. Hardik Pandya, always an X-factor now as far as Indian cricket is concerned. Kuldeep Yadav, Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, the bowling will be in the hands of Bhuvaneshwar Kumar. Jasprit Bumrah was recently taken the man of the series in the one-day international series. Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, Yuzvendra Chahal and Kuldeep Yadav. So that's the match situation as far as the final T20 and which also will bring an end to this Indian tour of Sri Lanka. And let's have a look at some cricket news and some cricket updates. So while I'm updating you on the first qualifier that is being played right now, we are in the 13th over in the match between the Trinbago Knight Riders, who actually won the toss and decided to insert the Patriots to bat. And in fact, Trinbago Knight Riders would be very happy that they saw the back of Evan Lewis pretty quickly, and he could have done a lot of damage. It was a brilliant catch taken by Daniel Christian, who was flown from England here, and he did a wonderful job. He has come in place of Brendan McCullum, the injured player who was left for New Zealand. And what a catch from Daniel Christian! I mean, that was a wicket that had a prize on it, and Evan Lewis was dismissed for 6. So that was a big psychological victory for the Trinbago Knight Riders after having seen him bat in a ferocious manner in the previous game. And right now, as I'm talking to you, Gale is not out on 28 of 32 balls, 1 for 2. The King is doing a fine job. He has 24 of as many balls, and he has 1 4 and 2 sixes. And Shadab Khan was hit over the cow corner for a 6 by King. And Gale actually swatted Sunil Nareen over the pickets for a 6. So King and Gale in charge right now. So that's the match update that I could give you. It has moved by 2 runs, 84 for 2. And time permitting, we would like to have some news at some cricket news. So let's have a chomp at the cricket news here. As far as the cricket news is concerned, the first thing that I would like to say, I'm just getting there right now. As you know, Australia will be touring India after the Bangladesh tour, and they'll be playing a round of 5 one-day internationals. So that is going to be a very good tour. Australia coming to India, and so the news comes in that England will have tours from India, Pakistan, and Australia in the year 2018. Other than that, I don't have anything else to really share, dear fan subscribers. Just before I go, let's keep an eye on this cricket update. As I'm talking to you, I think a 6 has been hit. I'm just trying to see who has hit the 6. Yes, it is King. Darren Bravo bowled to King, and it was a good length ball on the leg stump, and beautifully pulled over square leg by King. And while I'm talking to you, this also gives me time to actually complete my cricket show as well with this wicket that Darren Bravo is a very smart cricketer. We all know he's a smart bowler as well. The first ball was hit for a 6, but in the third ball he has snapped the wicket of King. And King has really played a good hand, 30 of 26 ball, 1 4 and 3 sixes. And this time there was almost an identical delivery, a short and quick delivery. And King once again attempting the pull shot, but this time it was a top edge and it was a skyer, but very well taken by Dinesh Ramadhan, the wicket-keeper. So on this note, it's about time for me to say bid good night to you all, dear friends and subscribers, on this cricket show. Thank you.